Hey guys, I'm P-Freak. Welcome back to Frogger's Adventures: The Rescue. Last time we made it through Metro Mayhem in order to save Dr. Frog, and we learned that we're apparently trying to help Army Frog escape here in the Molten Island, I believe this is called. And in this part we are going to traverse said Molten Island and hopefully save said Army Frog. Now this area... Actually, before I say anything, I should explain that I recorded this earlier, but apparently OBS did not record the audio. So I am basically going through this whole area again, which is fun, considering that this is one of probably the most forgettable areas within this game. Everywhere else I can think of, they're pretty unique, except maybe the level after this one. Oh well, it's frame droppage there. But they're pretty memorable when I think back at it. This area, it's just kind of generic. At least to me anyways. Does not mean it's the most boring place in the world. Actually, kind of is, but still, it's not bad. It does have really great music, though. I really enjoy this. In fact, I'm going to let you guys listen to it for a bit. Suffice to say, I think the music is the only saving grace for this zone's memorability? I guess that's the right word. Anyways, the main gimmick of this zone is pushing buttons. That's basically a majority of what we're doing throughout all 4 areas, including the boss. You'll see what I mean when we get there. But we're just gonna keep pushing buttons. And also trying to hop onto moving platforms. That's another major motif within this zone. So, this should be fun. You also have these things. Basically, whenever they're releasing air or whatever they are, I think they're steam valves or something, you can't step on them, otherwise you die. You can briefly stand on them before they actually start releasing the steam, and you'll see that happen in a later section, and you can hop over them. These guys... I call these guys, like, lava slimers. If you guys seen Ghostbusters, which there are a few people who haven't, especially with this generation, says the 20-year-old. But they kind of look like the Slimer ghost from Ghostbusters, just in lava form. Why did I do that? Okay. Whatever, I got a checkpoint right there. Again, we're trying to jump on moving platforms from moving platforms, and it's kind of annoying. While the other guys, they're just like, I don't know, I called them fire raccoons, but getting a better look at the ones in the corner, they don't really look much like raccoons. They're not necessarily tanukis either. I don't know, unfortunately, I don't think these guys have official names. Like, unless the manual for this game has their official names on them, but I don't have a copy of the manual anywhere, so... Probably not. I could probably look in the retro game shop that's nearby to see if they have a copy of this game with the manual in it. God damn it. Really? Checkpoint was right there. But unfortunately, the issue with that is that I'm kind of stuck in quarantine right now and can't really go out. And they don't have an online shop, which, now that I think about it, I kind of feel bad for them because they're an independent store. They're not a giant store chain, so... The only website they have is a Facebook page. And it's rough. I guess I'll definitely pay them a visit once the quarantine runs out or whatever. Is that the right term? Runs out. Quarantine running out. Don't know. Checkpoints. Okay. Let's fling across. Pull you here. Don't know what that does, but it's probably good to have it. Then we're going to hop over. You coins. I will return to the main file. This is actually a backup file that I just made. So if I ever have recording issues again, I'll be relying on this backup file. And we'll return to the main file afterwards. It's just that there's no, like, copy your save data option here. At least, I don't think there is. If there is, I'm going to start doing that. But I'm pretty sure there's not. There should be more games that allow you to copy your save data. Waited too long. Whatever, there's no point. And we just need to push this button. And I think that leads to the end of the level. Nice. Probably took us a bit longer than the rest of the levels. 5 minutes! It took us 5 minutes to get through that. Another reason why I don't think this is very memorable is that's long.
This is Ranger Frog. Primary objective accomplished. The hostages are safe, but I've found some plans that show the trip is up to no good. I've already forwarded the data to the ship, and more may follow. This is bigger than we expected. Keep up the good work. Ranger Frog out.
Ranger Frog is not exactly one of my favorite frogs. I don't know. I don't mind the frogs they introduced in this game. At least most of them. But, again, it's the whole thing that it's only frogs. Kinda lame. And the voice acting is fine. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It fits. This game wasn't necessarily meant for the most mature audience. But definitely one thing that's lacking, I don't know if I've said this before, it may have been failed recording, but in case I haven't said it before, the animation in the cutscenes is not that great. And it only gets worse in this game's quote-unquote sequel, Ancient Shadow. Yeah, even in the first cutscene, the lip syncing is kind of bad. Don't get me wrong, I think Konami and their team, they worked really hard on this game. I know they worked really hard on it's just about a game developer, but that doesn't mean they're immune from critiques. Thankfully, Konami has better games than just this one. I don't even think this was probably a project of the main subsidiary of Konami. Is that the right term? Or the main group of Konami, or whatever. Whatever the proper term is. Gonna play it safe, be patient. This area tests your patience a lot. Again, this can be done really quickly, but some parts do require you to be super, super patient. Especially a lot of these moving platform parts. Sometimes they're forgiving, sometimes they're not. Like right there, that was a really forgiving jump. Because I got impatient. What a fucking hypocrite, alright? Alright. What's really hard is to tell what tiles are safe and which ones are not. Because, like, I don't think any of these tiles are safe here. I think monsters roam on all of them. But we just press this button, get sucked back up into the vents. And how convenient it is for whoever created this to allow us to be teleported right back to where the ending is. So, that's basically what we're doing for this level. We have to go to the left and to the right, press buttons, seize the lava flow, and then make it to the end. These guys, they look an awful lot like Potaboos, but it's another example of you can't really tell which areas are safe and which ones are not. Like, yeah, I think point spots are perfectly safe, but otherwise, I think every other spot... God damn it! I think every other spot is not safe. Like, you'd think all these vents would be safe, but no, you see there's some of these... I guess fireballs is a less copyrighted term. Some of them actually do walk over the vents. And see, now that we don't have the coins, I can't really tell which parts are safe and which ones are not. So again, just be patient. Okay. Last section. These are a lot harder to deal with, but we should be able to make it through. Actually, no, they're not, since they're pretty linear. They're not that hard to deal with. You just are going to make a lot of close calls. Okay. Nice. Hop. It's see what's over here first. Looks like just an extra life. This isn't the main file, so we'll skip out on that for now. I think this is the way we're supposed to go. Come on. I don't really have any idle animations. Okay, well, I think I have one. I think Frog has one. Damn it. Oh well, luckily the checkpoint's literally just right here. I hope we're still recording the audio. I'd be super pissed if we weren't. I really don't want to do this again. Oh, and there's also money back over there. Again, I picked them up in the other file, so we're good. It's not like I'm trying to get myself to 99 lives or anything. I don't even know if that's possible. I'd estimate maybe 50 possible lives. Maybe. Because the only way to get lives are either through the Frogger life heads or through points. There are no like points for you to grind lives through, unlike some other games. So that's what my estimate for the life counter would go up to. Okay, now can I make it onto this one? Yes, I can. Perfect. And thank God there's another checkpoint. Now this is relatively easy. These kind of go with the motif I said, where a lot of tiles are repeated. These are like the Venus flytraps, just in a lava form. Okay, that probably took us another 6 minutes or 7 minutes, probably. Just judging by how long my recording's been going. There we go. Survey says... Oh, it only took 4 minutes. I guess they don't put into the cutscenes. Account the cutscenes for that. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me, Frogger? Good. Lumpy is fully recovered. He's back in tip-top shape, and we dropped him off at Firefly Swamp. Oh, yes. About that data that Ranger Frog had sent. Something terrible is in the works. It seems that Trip has discovered an ancient weapon. The ultimate weapon. They've been kidnapping people in search of the key person who can activate it. Army Frog has been able to infiltrate Trip, and he can give you more details on this matter. Frogger, we're counting on you.
Key person. Jeez, it can't just be anything simple, can it? Always has to be some random person that is the key to activating the ultimate weapon. And it's always an ultimate weapon. Can't just be anything simple, just like a puppy dog, huh? Oh well, how else are these games gonna have plots? Funny little thing. Again, I can't remember if this is mentioned in the lost footage or was in a previous part. But the lizard actually has a name. The reptile that we saw in the cutscene before Metro Mayhem, he actually has a name. It's not said in this game, but it's said in a later game where he reappears. I believe it's Dr. Wani. I believe that's what it is. I just saw it today. So that's interesting. I think this was the part I said where, yeah, sometimes you're going to have to just stand on the steam valves, I'm calling them now, and just wait for everything to... Actually, I can just do that. I'm laughing. Okay, and these Firebirds. At least I know these are Firebirds. I don't know, the frickin' Moltresses or something? Since everything seems to be a copy of some other stuff, I'm calling those Moltresses, and I'm calling these Purple Fire Tom Nooks. They look nothing like Tom Nook, but it's the only raccoon character I can think of. Or Tanuki character. Again, they're neither raccoons or Tanuki looking. That just leaves to money and life. Pass. It's another one of those, the tiles are different, so you can't really tell that you can jump on them. This game has a lot of those where it's just like the tiles look so different from all the other tiles you're used to stepping on. It's hard to tell if you can actually safely jump on them. Speaking of safely jumping, boom, boom, and it's too far now. Oh, and that's not a safe spot to linger around. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. Those are really hard coins to get. They are in a combo, I can confirm that. Alright, puzzle time. This is another one of those press the button puzzles. Again, literally all 3 levels are just full of these. There's this one. I'm surprised Frogger's tongue has enough force to actually push a button properly. I wish my tongue was able to do that, but... I mean... I think it can? I don't know. I'm dumb. I wish it was long enough I was able to do that from a distance, and strong enough I was able to do that from a distance. That's what I'm trying to say. Unfortunately, my tongue's really short. Like, you know those people who can touch their nose with their tongue? I can't do that. I don't even come close. I wish I could, don't get me wrong, but I'm not freaking Gene Simmons. This up. It's like the last level too, so we're kind of repeating assets, but I guess you kind of need to do that with some games. Now, just because the assets are repeated does not mean that this game's bad. Again, I still have a lot of fun with it. It's not the best game ever. I will fully admit that, but it was a game I enjoyed playing from time to time in my childhood, and I'm enjoying myself playing this again, except for the fact that I have to play it all over again. 3 minutes, by the way. That's not bad.
It looks like we found ourselves in a big mess. If we only had something we could use to our advantage. Look carefully. What's that over there? You should check out that switch. It may open the water tower valve. It's all up to you, Frogger.
And look, we're pressing more buttons, or switches, I guess that's what they're called. On the subject of Pokemon-looking creatures, that's right, I remember talking about this. I don't think... Is there a... is there a Steel Fire-type... No, Steel Fire-type Dragon Pokemon? Like, I know it can only be 2 types, but it's like... This would be a really cool Pokemon if it was a Pokemon. Also, I did not expect it to do its Stomp attack already. Normally it does one of its fire attacks before it does its Stomping attack. But you have the... Yeah, I done a lot on this boss in my original run as well, so... But basically, what you're supposed to do is just stand on these switches and wait for the water pumps to fully fill up. And then they'll automatically spray the dragon. Any part of the dragon you touch will kill you. He has a Fire Beam attack, which you saw. He has a Stomping attack, which is kind of hard to avoid. And then he has a Flame attack. I believe this is... Or like his Flame Projectile attack. Where basically he fires flames into the air and they land on random spots on the floor. Okay, well... This game's just... This is just going wonderfully. Now sometimes you can't get lucky and just sit still right like this, but... Okay, and then he has this one that actually follows you. Or less follows you and more like tries to predict where you're going to be. I am having just a blast at this game. Again, this is not one of my favorite bosses. You can tell by how much I'm dying. I mean, there are worse bosses later in the game for me to deal with. In fact, the last 2 bosses are such a pain in the ass to deal with. So I guess comparatively, this is not too bad. Especially since there's a lot of idle time. But don't worry, there will be... There will be bosses where they're a bit more interactive than just sitting on a button for a while. Especially the boss that comes in the level after this one. Now thankfully the water does cancel any attack he tries to do. So you at least have that saving grace. And no, you can't refill any pumps that you've already used. The buttons turn gray, meaning you can't press them anymore. Thank God. Filled it up just in time. Now, were these all just robots made by Trip? Is this the whole area made by Trip? Again, I want answers, and I wish this was expanded more. I have a feeling if it was expanded more and the story was kept more consistent, then it would actually be a lot cooler. That's creepy. They rely a lot on robots. I mean, the only non-robot enemy we've fought so far was the catfish. Unless it turns out that catfish was a robot as well.
Both of you, this way!
Set a course straight for the Forgotten Island. Trip has found a girl who could be the key and has taken her there.
Oh, sorry about this, Frogger. It looks like your trip home is going to be delayed a bit.
No problem. If someone is in trouble, I want to help too. To help anyone in need. Isn't that what FIRST is all about?
Yeah! We're counting on you, buddy!
Places like this still exist. Isn't it amazing, Frogger? There must be a key somewhere around here to open that gate. I know you can find it.
Yes, we probably can, but we're going to find it later. So, that's going to be it for this part. If you like what I do, subscribe to my channel, consider supporting me on Patreon, and follow me on all my social media links. All of that will be in the description. That'll be it for this part, and I'll see you all next time. Go through the Forgotten Island and hopefully find out who that girl is. I'll see you all then.